Hello, good morning, dear esteemed viewers. It's another beautiful Thursday, and warm welcome to Dawn on VOS TV Nigeria. Dawn is your magazine program where we expose you to topical issues around the world, Nigeria, and Edo State in particular. Warm welcome, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jude Aweke. Of course, yes, I'm not here in the studio alone. I'm flanked by my fantabulous looking colleague, Felicia Udeji.
Thank you.
You know the way you call your name.
You
know the way you call your name during news reportage. It gives me goosebumps. Felicia Udeji.
Oh well, I think Jude wants me to blush this morning, but his plans will not work. I am not going to blush. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us on the Thursday edition of Dawn on VOS TV. And like Jude Aweke rightly said, it's another time for us to inform you about current happenings in the globe, in Nigeria, and of course in Edo State. It's a good time for us to actually inform you, and we're here to ensure that your day, your morning kickstarts on the perfect note. That is what we do here on Dawn.
Exactly.
At VOS TV. I remain Felicia Udeji.
Yes.
And I say thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for joining us. Yes, let's set the ball rolling by exposing you to top stories that are making waves on national dailies. Don't go away, stay tuned. Thanks for staying in there. Yes, welcome to the newspaper review segment of the program. And we'll begin with what Vanguard is saying this morning. The front page of Vanguard has the first story. The first story there says, kidnappers adopt police officer for orders in Edo State. Another one says, Dangote refinery hits 650,000 BPD capacity. Makoko demolitions, fate of 1,000 school children hangs in the balance. And the major story there tells us that U.S. reps propose visa ban on Kwankwaso, Meiti Allah, others. It has several riders, and the first one here says, as U.S. lawmakers present bill on Christian religious persecution in Nigeria, seek Zurich's designation for Fulani militia. We are shocked. We respond at appropriate time. Kwakwasiya movement respond. Kwakwaso caught in the web of international hypocrisy. Blackmail, says the NMPP. Another top story there also says, Senate demands full implementation of defense budget, warns against delays. That's what Vanguard is saying this morning. There are several other stories there, so you can actually get a copy to see some of them. And now, Felicia, let's talk about some of the stories that are making wave on Vanguard this morning. U.S., proposing visa ban for some top political figures and even socio-cultural figures in Nigeria. What does this portend to Nigeria's image in the international community?
Already we know that as it stands, our image is weighing on the balance right now. Looking at the index corruption report, looking at the insecurity cases we are facing, the massacres, the terrorism, banditry, and what have you. Like, our image right now is way below. And this visa ban, for me, it's a welcome one. If we can ban all our leaders from traveling abroad, that will be a welcome development, because that will force them to invest into the country. The reason why we have most of our leaders not investing or doing what they promise is because they have options. They can decide to fly. Most of our leaders do not have investment in Nigeria. Different persons have come out severally to bring out accusations upon accusations of how our leaders acquire properties abroad, US for instance, and their children, they take them to school there, and while our educational system is dilapidating. Now imagine the son of a senator schooling in a public university like University of Benin.
Yes.
Do you think that they will allow ASU to go on strike?
Of course they won't. It's really worrisome. Yes, it's worrisome. It's really worrisome.
So for me, this is a welcome development. If US can extend this to all of our leaders, let everybody sit down for house. Since they say make we know Jackpa, even the leaders, make them know Jackpa as well.
You know, this really calls for concern, because at the time that Nigeria as a nation is experiencing heightened insecurity, and the US is alleging that these key figures that they are proposing to ban from entering the US, they are complicit in all of these insecurities that are facing. It's cause for concern. It
really raises issues because...
Though alleged.
Yes, alleged. Yes, because even the government has time and time again come out to say that there are key figures who are supporting, who are sponsoring Boko Haram, but they have not given us names. They promised to release names, but we all know that that's just all talk. They're never going to categorically state who these individuals are. But with this visa ban, mine is not even the part that they are being alleged as being sponsors of insecurity. Mine is the fact that if this is extended to all our leaders, it will cause our leaders to sit down and actually do what they have promised to do. It will cause our leaders to work. Because if everything that is in a country, you are facing it the way the ordinary citizens are facing it, you are walking through the same roads, your children are attending the schools that the ordinary citizens are attending, then you have no choice than to do better.
Exactly. And now let's talk about another story that is also there. The Senate demanding full implementation of defense budget, warning against delays. You know, what does this say concerning oversights, transparency, and value for money, especially at the time of increased insecurity in Nigeria?
Well, I think that is actually a good one from the Senate, because right now, as far as defense security is concerned in Nigeria, we need immediate, prompt and swift action. We need to take swift. There should be no delay as far as security, anything related to security is concerned. Because states like Kwara, Benue, Kaduna, Katsina, just name them, they're suffering in terms of insecurity. People are being killed on a daily basis. Imagine over 170 people slaughtered like chickens.
Worrisome.
So it's actually a good development, and they should be as swift as possible. And this is us also appealing to them. We don't just want budget on paper. Let this translate into reality. Exactly. Let this translate into our vigilantes, the local hunters we have, the police, the military. Let us be able to see the reality of this budget, that okay, this is the budget that has been passed and this is what it is doing. Let there be a change as regards this budget, not just give us paper, give us figures, and at the end of the day we are not seeing anything. We want to see changes. Don't just give us budgets.
All right, thank you. Those are some of the stories on Vanguard this morning, so you can pick a copy and see other stories if you want. Now let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. What's the Guardian saying? 2.83 billion naira for immense feeding. Oduwole declares $21 billion capital inflow in 10 months. Vanguard, the Guardian newspaper also has the story on U.S. Proposed ban of some key figures in Nigeria, and the story here says U.S. lawmakers want visa ban, asset freeze on Meiti Allah Kwankwaso. Backlash trails, Senate's version of new Electoral Act. Those are some of the stories that are making waves on Vanguard this morning.
I think there are two stories that caught my interest on the Guardian newspaper. I'd like to also pinpoint. Okay. That's NAFDAC denies federal government suspension of sachet alcohol ban and enforcement.
Yes.
And also the electricity workers threatening strike action, saying that they are anti-labor issues. I think I would really like to talk about this proposed strike by the electricity workers. Some persons are of the opinion that, electricity workers going on strike, that, I mean, the electricity situation has not been that good, so then going on strike is not in any way going to affect Nigerians. While others are saying, even the little lighter we they enjoy, at least made them leave them. Because if they are to go on strike, to be a total blackout and it will affect businesses. So, Jude, what do you think about this?
Over time, we've been experiencing epileptic power supply. And if you're saying that electricity workers, they want to proceed on industrial action, it means you want a deteriorated situation. It means our situation on electricity will deteriorate. So I think they should have a rethink on their planned industrial action. They should have a rethink.
Then also there's a question of how does, because the electricity sector has been privatized. So how does this concern the federal government in question?
Of course, yes, it concerns them. It concerns them a whole lot, because there is need for them to really, work with private stakeholders to see that we have improved power supply in the country. Because if there is no improved power supply, you see the economy will not boom. The economy will not boom.
It's actually true.
Yes, because
the average business relies on power to run. Now let's look at this this sachet alcohol ban. We know that the government, NAFDAC working with the government, said that there will be a ban on the sale of sachet alcohol. And now the federal government has said that they should die down for now on the ban, that they should not enforce it for now. And I know that NAFDAC raised certain concerns. Mojisola, the director of NAFDAC, came out to say that the reason that they are clamoring for this ban is because little children, teenagers now have easy access to this product. You see a school child of in JSS1 going to buy and consume sachet alcohol. Now, that's the major reason that we need to protect our children. Why some are saying that this will actually cripple the economy, because there are lots of persons being employed by these companies where they produce this product, that if there is an enforcement on it, that people will lose their jobs.
Exactly.
Industries will be closed down. But how do you see this? Do you think that they can strike a balance between protecting our children and ensuring that the economy stays stable?
Of course, yes. It's possible for them to strike a balance, because stakeholders should be there. The government should be able to manage the situation in such a way that you protect workers, people that are working with these companies, and also the consumer, which are underaged consumers.
Yes.
If there should be mechanism to checkmate them.
What mechanism do you think can checkmate?
Of course, yes, the government can institute policies that is okay, anyone who is selling sachet alcohol for an underaged person will be penalized.
How will they? Because we always hear about policies, but the problem is actually being able to monitor and ensure the enforcement of these policies. Anyway, well, I feel that with this, the government and NAFDAC should try as much as possible to strike a balance.
Exactly. All right. That's where we'll wrap it up on the newspaper review segment of the program. When we return, We'll be having a discussion segment where we talk about Nigeria ranking 142nd on the Transparency International Corruption Perceptions Index. Alright, don't go away, stay tuned.
People, now VOS TV Nigeria be the cocoa. We day into ogbonge news, whether na political news or political rally for your party. We stand gidigba. Not be only that one, oh, we dey cover all kinds of events: birthday party, wedding party, burial ceremony coverage, graduation ceremony. We dey even do inter-sport event coverage. We go showcase your school to many people, even if not to cover national sport. Also for your church event, anniversary, crusade or harvest, we get professionals wey sabi this work well. VOS TV, then they tested, trusted and reliable. Una fit contact us for 82 First East Circular Road, Benin City, or make una call us for this number 080-2254-7837. Make una follow us on all our social media handle. If una dey think the best, think VOS TV Naija. VOS TV Naija, the right news for all. My country people, now VOS TV Naija be the cocoa. We day into ogbonge news, whether na political news or political rally for your party. We stand gidigba. Not be only that one, oh, we dey cover all kinds of events: birthday party, wedding party, burial ceremony coverage, graduation ceremony. We dey even do inter-sport event coverage. We go showcase your school to many people, even if not to cover national sport. Also for your church event, anniversary, crusade or harvest, we get professionals wey sabi this work well. VOS TV, then they tested, trusted and reliable. Una fit contact us for 82 First East Circular Road, Benin City, or make una call us for this number 080-2254-7837. Make una follow us on all our social media handle. If una dey think the best, think VOS TV Naija. VOS TV Naija, the right news for all. My country people, now VOS TV Naija be the cocoa. We day into ogbonge news, whether na political news or political rally for your party. We stand gidigba. Not be only that one, oh, we dey cover all kinds of events: birthday party, wedding party, burial ceremony coverage, graduation ceremony. We dey even do inter-sport event coverage. We go showcase your school to many people, even if not to cover national sport. Also for your church event, anniversary, crusade or harvest, we get professionals wey sabi this work well. VOS TV, then they tested, trusted and reliable. Una fit contact us for 82 First East Circular Road, Benin City, or make una call us for this number 080-2254-7837. Make una follow us on all our social media handle. If una dey think the best, think VOS TV Naija. VOS TV Naija, the right news for all. My country people, now VOS TV Naija be the cocoa. We day into ogbonge news, whether na political news or political rally for your party. We stand gidigba. Not be only that one, oh, we dey cover all kinds of events: birthday party, wedding party, burial ceremony coverage, graduation ceremony. We dey even do inter-sport event coverage. We go showcase your school to many people, even if not to cover national sport. Also for your church event, anniversary, crusade or harvest, we get professionals wey sabi this work well. VOS TV, then they tested, trusted and reliable. Una fit contact us for 82 First East Circular Road, Benin City, or make una call us for this number 080-2254-7837. Make una follow us on all our social media handle. If una dey think the best, think VOS TV Naija. VOS TV Naija, the right news for all. My country people, now VOS TV Naija be the cocoa. We day into ogbonge news, whether na political news or political rally for your party. We stand gidigba. Not be only that one, oh, we dey cover all kinds of events: birthday party, wedding party, burial ceremony coverage, graduation ceremony. We dey even do inter-sport event coverage. We go showcase your school to many people, even if not to cover national sport. Also for your church event, anniversary, crusade, or harvest. We get professionals wey sabi this work well. VOS TV, then they tested, trusted, and reliable. Una fit contact us for 82 First East Circular Road, Benin City, or make una call us for this number 080-2254-7837. Make una follow us on all our social media handle. If una dey think the best, think VOS TV Naija. VOS TV Naija, the right news for all. My country people, na VOS TV Naija be the koko. We dey into ogbonge news, whether na political news or political rally for your party. We stand gidigba. Not be only that one, oh, we dey cover all kinds of events: birthday party, wedding party, burial ceremony coverage, graduation ceremony. We dey even do inter-sport event coverage wey go showcase your school to many people, even if na to cover national sport. Also for your church event, anniversary, crusade, or harvest, we get professionals wey sabi this work well. VOS TV, then they tested, trusted, and reliable. Una fit contact us for 82 First East Circular Road, Benin City, or make una call us for this number 080-2254-7837. Make una follow us on all our social media handle. If una dey think the best, think VOS TV Naija. VOS TV Naija, the right news for all. My country people, na VOS TV Naija be the koko. We dey into ogbonge.
Welcome back, viewers. It is still dawn on your darling station VOS TV, and I am Felicia Udeji. This is the discussion segment of the show. Nigeria once again has made headlines on the global stage, but this time for the wrong reasons. In the latest Transparency International Corruption Report, Nigeria is ranked 142nd most corrupt country in the world out of 180 countries. Neighboring countries like Ghana, Senegal, Morocco, South Africa, and others are well ahead of us. And we even dropped 2 positions from last year, where we were 140th position. For many Nigerians, this is not coming as a surprise. But for others, this ranking is raising critical questions. Are we getting worse in terms of corruption? Will we ever be able to fight the war against corruption? These questions and others is what we'll be answering on the discussion segment of the show today. And joining me to do justice to these questions is my very special guest, Comrade Dr. Bartolome Okodo.
Thank you very much.
Comrade is the president of Conference of Non-Governmental Organizations, Congos. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. And welcome too.
Thank you. And our second guest is a civil society activist, talking about the one and only Comrade Solomon Ijobe.
My pleasure. Good morning, viewers at home. A very good morning this morning. It's my pleasure being here again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming, comrades. So let me start with this. When you saw that ranking, comrade, what was your reaction?
Thank you very much. When I saw that ranking, my reaction was that of mixed feelings. First, I was not happy that Nigeria is being ranked as the 142nd most corrupt countries in the world. It's an embarrassment to the entire nation. It's a disgrace. It's an international disgrace to be so placed at that global level. But then I was not surprised, because over the years there have not been deliberate effort in Nigeria to curb corruption. There has not been any political will. The agency established by the government to fight corruptions, they are also politically weakened. ICPC is there, though they have recorded some recovery and the rest, but the rate of corruption, you agree, is getting higher. Recently, we have not been hearing of ICPC again, but we still managed to hear of EFCC. They are now majorly running after Yahoo boys. It's an effort. Why the big political corruption is eating down deep the country? So when I saw the report, it would have been news if Nigeria have moved to maybe 20th position. But Nigeria went down.
Yes.
it's no news to me. So I receive it with mixed feeling.
Interesting. Thank you, Doctor. Now coming to you, Comrade Solomon. This corruption index, a lot of Nigerians are asking, how exactly do they measure it? And how can we be sure that this is actually a true reflection of our position? Because some Nigerians are arguing that it could be that we are even way below what they gave us. So how do they measure this?
They have indices for measuring corruption, corrupt practices. In fact, it starts from leadership, who obviously I will refer to always as leadership. We do not have leadership in Nigeria, with all due respect. We have leadership, those who need from the people. What I used to know while we were growing up, when they were teaching us elementary government, is that government is a democracy, a government of the people, for the people, by the people. And the government's sole responsibility is security of lives and property and welfare of the people. That's what we used to know. What we now know is that government is democracy is a government of the elite, for the elite, by the elite, and that they only collect from the poor to enrich the rich, and that's why the rich can get richer and the poor gets poorer in a country like Nigeria, especially in African countries. Let me tell you, part of the indices for measurement is your trades, your economic, your forests, and all of that, and then your debt rates. That are all part of what is put together to looking at. And you know, here it's we are a borrowing nation. They used to refer to it as a consuming nation. Consuming nation does not describe Nigeria. Borrowing nation describes us better. When I know that Comrade Bato has his native attires, that it's fine. Rather than me looking for a way to get native attire for myself within my clothes measurement and my size. And I know that Comrade Bato is a little bit fatter than me. I'll still go and borrow Bato's wear to put on myself. I'm still not contented with the small, attire that I have. That's the greed we have, unfortunately. Like he said, yes, all of us, we had mixed feelings, but I was not disappointed. You know why?
In other words, we're expecting this.
Nigeria, corruption is endemic. In Nigeria, it's endemic. You know, there's this rate when something starts from somewhere, you say it's like a disease starts, it says endemic, you know, and then you can talk about epidemics, and then you can now talk about pandemic. Now here it starts. So I watched skits where a little girl was asked to name corrupt countries, 6 most corrupt countries in the world. He named all others. He didn't name Nigeria. And they now asked her why. I said, no, they describe devil. They only use devil to describe devil. It's already the Nigeria is the corruption itself. So naming it was like, you know, saying the obvious.
Wow.
But again, it can be better. It can be better because Nigeria is rich. Nigerians are just greedy. Nigeria is rich. Nigeria is not poor. So the borrowing is not a result of natural poverty. It's as a result of greed.
Okay. Now, speaking of Nigeria being rich, I watched an interview on Politics Today where when the Senate president was coming on board, he was being interviewed on how he intends to govern. And he says one of the things he would do is to fight corruption, just as the late President Muhammad Buhari did. And this is not the first time we are hearing our leaders promise to fight corruption.
Sorry, ma. I didn't hear Tinubu say he wanted to fight corruption. The only thing Tinubu told us was going to continue from where his predecessor stopped.
Which means corruption is also fighting corruption is part of
no. Don't get it wrong. The man said it was his turn. It was his turn, and I was going to continue from where his predecessor stopped. his predecessor was for nobody and was for everybody. And his predecessor was not always aware of things happening. So we can look at it from that angle. Not that he said he wanted to fight corruption, because before he assumed office, there were a lot of, campaigns. Some were politically motivated, though. That he has dirty hands in several dirty businesses. So I'm sure that was one of the reasons he could not come out to tell us categorically that he wanted to fight corruption. Okay, he only told us that he wanted, and now
we know that. Okay, from your statement, Tinubu did not categorically say he wants to fight corruption. I'll address this question to Dr. Bartolome. Being that Tinubu didn't promise, but from the Senate President's speech, from his interview, he promised. This one was it coming from the Senate President, and not just him. Quite a number of our leaders, some of our legislative, executive also make these promises in their campaign. With these and with the current reality that we see today, how does this affect trust in governance in terms of people trusting the words of political office holders?
Trust is broken. We no longer trust any political office holders. In fact, when a political office holder tells you good morning, check your time very well to make sure it's not bedtime. And when he says good night, check it again to make sure we're not already at dawn. And then the promise of the Senate President, to start with the Senate President, His Excellency Governor Akpabio, is first among equal 306 or 308 senators. We didn't vote for him as a leader. So whatever statement he made, he probably made it on his own behalf. And of course, if we said he made that statement as a number 3 citizen in the country, how well has he fulfilled that statement? How well has he lived to the implementation? Is it the Senate President today who is fighting real-time electronic transmission of a result that will say want to come and fight corruption?
Is that not corrupt?
Is it the Senate President who today has given us dual means of transfer, that you use electronic or you use manual? Is that the type of person that want to come and fight corruption? Look at his lifestyle. Have you seen his convoy? Is the Senate President, money used to maintain the Senate President convoy in 1 month can develop a good community. If you have seen it, I've been privileged to see his convoy in Abuja. And I asked her, is this Mr. President? I said, no, this was Mr. President, the Senate President. And when I saw the car, actually Senate President, the money used to fuel its movement alone in 1 month can develop some communities. So is that type of person who want to come and fight corruption? So we didn't vote for him. Everything else at the table of Mr. President. It's the president we voted for. It's him that will cry to. It's him that will develop the political will to fight corruption. And of course, it's very obvious that he lacks the capacity to fight corruption, because he too have been involved in, like my comrade said, in several sharp deals. So we no longer rely. The people today no longer have that trust on our political office holder at any level. Because they say one today, they do something else. Is it not this same president that went to court and Supreme Court to get autonomy for local government? How well has he implemented local government full autonomy? That will quickly tells us of what is happening in Osun State. The recent example in Edo State. How many other states where local today across the 36 state federation?
I'm glad
local government are bottled up.
Edo State, sir. Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned, because I want us to bring this home. In Edo State, we have controversies like the Moa land disputes, the Radisson Hotel, the Iyamu University, and so many others. These are the corruption debates we have in Edo State. Do you think this also contributes to Nigerians' ranking? And what do you think the Edo State Governor, Monday Okpebholo, can do to make this different? Because in as much as we are saying we are looking at the Senate, I want us to also bring this home in terms of Edo State in particular. Yeah. How can we address corruption in Edo State? The
one way to address corruption in Edo State is that there should be transparency and accountability in governance. People should be aware. If you what are the controversy? We all know the benefit of the MOA project. We all know the benefit of the Radisson Hotel. We all know the benefit of the ShopRite and many others. But But these things, projects were executed in top secrecy. The people were not aware. It was only after that government left office and the controversy as to who actually owns those projects came up. Now we started hearing some facts, which of course we cannot really verify. But very obvious that those things were not done. Government of Edo State in time past were not transparent enough. And now we expect the present government to improve on that, to show transparency. In Edo State, for instance, a lot of contracts have been awarded. Negative projects have been executed. People-oriented projects have been executed. Roads have been tied. Schools have been built. Flyover. What is the actual cost? What was the procurement, the contract awarding process? Did it pass through the process? All these things are the things we need to look at. How was those contracts awarded? Who are the contractors? If you go to some project sites in other countries, you will see the name of the contractor, the cost of the project, how much have been advanced of the project, the stage of the project, the duration period. Have you seen that in any of our projects? They are not there. The projects are good. They are ongoing. We are happy about it. Our market is near completion now. But how much was our market awarded? Did we know? We only got to know the contractor when we pass them. We see it inscribed on their vehicle. How did they bid for the contract? How many people bidded for that contract? How did they eventually win the contract? These are issues that border around transparency and accountability. When these issues are not properly addressed, then the international community or the global world sees it as corruption. So that's why we wonder that, they say that it's developing. This state is developing. The health sector is improving. This one is going, this one is going. It's still corrupt because of the lack of transparency in the process. Yeah, you as Latvians, we are. There are some issues going up in our state. We are not aware.
Now, speaking about transparency, Comrade Solomon, in your opinion, how can we be more transparent in terms of carrying out projects in Edo State and avoid issues, controversies that we see today regarding the Radisson Hotel and all other controversies?
Are we discussing Radisson Hotel?
We are discussing corruption.
Oh, we are discussing MOA. Because I do not really, being frank with you, as I followed the house sitting on the MOA and Radisson Blue Hotel, and what we got was so annoying. It was a clear case of reckless corruption. Permit me to say naked corruption, where a governor will convert a government entity into a private entity and then rename it in such a way that it will benefit him and his family. We saw a lot of that. I'm not talking fallacy, I'm talking of available facts, during the hearings, because it has created room for everybody who can speak, although the dramatist personnel, as it were, in the person of former Governor Godwin Obaseki did not come, but a major part of the people who were there came, the contractors, the government agencies, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Lands, and all of that. That's why I'm asking, because it's a long story. I will say that government, as it then was not transparent. That government dealt with Edo people with a lot of secrecy. And the government transacted for and on behalf of Edo people without carrying Edo people along and just for self-benefit. But I also think that this government is not different.
Why?
Oh yes. My brother made mention of, we are aware. We as civil society organizations had said, yesterday we had a meeting. We had a review of a few things. We told ourselves that we're going to give the governor a breathing space of 1 year so that we don't dabble into a lot of things. So that's when you hear people were raising dust over so many issues. We actually did not dabble into them. We just felt that we needed that space so that we can estray you and see how transparent you want to run. A government that does not run an open governance system, it's not a government. That government is running secrecy. And let me tell you, what it shows is that that government is corrupt. Yes. What open governance system does for you, it allows people it's called participatory governance. Can you tell me today, like you had asked, how much it is that is expended on the Ramat Park flyover project or the Adesua flyover project? What was the bidding process? Because that's what transparency looks at. Your acquisition, your bidding process, your expenditure list, there are factors, a whole lot of factors. Your buying and selling, and that's why I talked about the issue of forex. It's part of it. Your exchange rates,
the indices for
yes, and all that. But let me say this: we do not know. There are a whole lot of projects going on. A government will tell you that the previous government is corrupt. We agree. If you ask me, I'll tell you. We have a lot of issues with the past administration in the area of transparency. What can you explain to us? Because all of us know for sure that Obaseki has A1 plus in building projects, building structures. I'm not talking of road. Road is F9, in fact F12, if there's anything like that. But when it comes to structure, when you talk about edifice, houses, Obaseki has A1 plus. That same Obaseki's government wanted to rebuild Obamarket for 1 billion naira. And that's a government that we are rating as very corrupt. Yes, we think that government was handling a lot of things in secrecy and was corrupt. But the government that is not corrupt is doing that same project that Obaseki wanted to do for 1 billion for 17 billion. I don't understand. Maybe I know the reason where. I don't know if you get it.
So how can we make this bidding process you are talking about?
It is not in your hand.
The government.
It is the government. And they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. You'll be surprised that the Civil Society Committee in Edo State have made frantic efforts to have a robust conversation with government so that you don't say we are accusing you wrongly. Let us know what you are doing. If the civil society community cannot engage government, who else can? We used to know that there used to be media parley with governors in the past. We used to know that there used to be what is referred to as town hall meetings with governors in the past. I have not seen it. 2 years running now. You say it's not up to 2 years, but it's the second year running. And then you say that government is transparent and you say the government is not corrupt. What is corruption? Define corruption. Now, you mentioned the toothless bulldogs that we have. In fact, I refer to them as old major. Did you read Animal Farms?
Yeah.
George Owen.
A very popular.
And you remember those dogs that they were now using to pursue those who were now not loyal to the states.
Yes.
That's what these agencies refer to as EFCC and ICPC are.
So you are saying that the agencies are political?
Of course, without fears. What's ICPC? Independent Corrupt Practices Commission. Now, do you know that if you receive gratification when you are preparing a political office, is maybe Batu is coming to dash me car because I am a director in one thing and I'm accepting it amounts to an offense? Because why would he not give it to a family member? Why will he come to give me? They can investigate you. How many of such cases have they investigated? How much money are the salaries of these public servants that they can afford to buy a house in Ghana, in Cameroon? I don't want to talk about New York and Canada. You can imagine a chief law officer in this country, the Attorney General of the Federation, today being paraded over theft. I don't want to call it corrupt practices, clear case of theft and terrorism charges. But that was the law officer of the Federation. A friend called me from abroad the other day and said, which is the ombudsman in Nigeria, they told him he's a public complaint commissioner. I said, that's a toothless bulldog now. He said they said they are the agency that cautions government and whip government back to life. I say, which government? Okra now they talk past the owner. That's what all of these agencies are. Now, so that I don't deviate because I seem to have digressed, but let me say this clearly. There is no transparency in those states by this current government. This government has not done anything different from what the former administration was doing. Let me tell you, the government today, or the government, may not be as arrogant as the former chief executive of the states. Okay. But its actions and doings are not also different from that of the former administration.
All right.
So, when you talk about corruption, that's where you start from. How many roads have been awarded? What are the costs of those roads? Government, when I was growing up, or in the last few years, we know that government usually have websites and all of these things. Even when we quarrel that it's not everything that we see them put there, that they still hide most of them.
Aside from that, we also have the Ministry of Information.
When you go there now, you are asking questions. The next thing you hear them tell you is that were you sent by opposition party? So when everything is being politicized, in fact, let me put it this way: they say when the purpose of an item is not known, abuse is inevitable. A lot of these persons are sycophants. If not sycophancy, what is the coloration of Abuja leadership and those states that you will give the governor 5 minutes to talk about what he has done for Edo people, and he's telling you that 2027 is a must for Jagaban, and that all his commissioners must wear a Jagaban cap and put a Jagaban crest on their head. So, point I'm trying to make is that you must continue to look at how government runs. That's how you can know whether they are transparent or not transparent. So if you ask me again and again, I'll tell you, by our own judgment and by my mind, the government of Edo State as it stands today under the leadership of Monday Okpewolo is not running a transparent government. And as far as there's no transparency, corruption is endemic. And because we don't know what the costs are, we don't know who is doing what. When we engaged the former administration, we now started seeing where they were now putting signboard of Peter Paul who were doing contracts.
Okay, now
so we want them to go back.
Talked about transparency in terms of government, but we know that corruption is not just limited to the government. The people also have a part to play when it has to do with corruption, because we cannot just say governments are the only one being corrupt. Every individual in Nigeria has a part to play.
I agree.
I want to direct this question to Dr. Bartolome. Aside from complaining about corruption, complaining about our leaders' ineffectiveness, their non-transparency, what role can citizens play in terms of helping to reduce the corruption in this country?
Good. The citizens have a lot of role to play in an attempt to reduce corruption in this country, but everything boils down to government, because it is the government that will create the enabling environment for citizens to engage. If I come and meet you, I want to talk with you and you did not give me the opportunity, there can be no discussion. The enabling environment must be there. It is the government. And of course, we have government institutions that are responsible for such engagement. We have the Ministry of Information. You could engage the Commissioner for Information and he will tell you the policy direction of the government, of the state government. You could engage the Commissioner for Education. He will tell you the policy direction on education. You engage the Commissioner for Health. He will tell you the policy direction of on health matters. But these opportunities are not given to the citizen. The citizens are ready to engage. And because that proper atmosphere has not been created for engagement, and that's why you see suspicions, mistrusts flying all over the places. So the people have a role to play. The people are ready to play that role, but there should be that enabling environment Take for instance the ongoing passage of dual transmission of
optional transmission
of electoral
results.
Okay.
Even before we arrived at that stage, it was a total rejection. It was the voice of the people, occupied National Assembly, various press conferences, various press releases that intimidated the National Assembly to go back to review their earlier stance. And we thought we were going to dance to the will of the people. Unfortunately, they created another very serious wahala from the first one. So the people, they are there, ready to engage. It was that engagement that led to where we are now. Come to talk about Edo State. It was the people that first cried out over some of these projects we are seeing. The mobile project, the Radissi Hotel, and many more. It was the people that first of all cried out. It was the people that are still crying. We want to know what is happening. So the people, they are actually playing their role. But what we ask ourselves, is the government responsive enough to listen to the yearnings and aspirations of the people? The answer is no. Where there is no town hall meeting, there is no quarterly media parley, how will the people engage? How?
Okay, now coming to the issue of protest actions, because severally we have seen citizens raise their voice against issues in the government, and in the process we see that along the line these protests become hijacked, right, whereby some parts are being bought by the government. So what can you say about citizens also taking bribe? Is that also part of the corruption? Because we'll say Nigerian is divided. When we start a movement, for instance, that this is what we want, before you know, some key persons, key stakeholders in that movement, they will sell out their voice. We also have the issue of so many youths that are being given appointments to be part of those campaigning for the incoming government. So what can you say regards this, and how can we do better?
Now the protest, what is protest? People want to demand for accountability. They want to demand for transparency. They want to demand for issues to be addressed. Then they set aside a day. Say this today, government must listen to us. Those are the genuine protesters. But what do we happen? What happens? We have the law enforcement agent, particularly the police, that are supposed to protect these protesters, because that protest is their fundamental right. Is the last resort to their fundamental right of engagement. Police will not protect them. Rather, they will allow hoodlums to infiltrate it. Before you know it, it is hijacked. And in time past, though I have not seen that presently in Edo State, in time past, we have seen where government sponsored hoodlums, hoodlums, miscreants to join that protest. And before you know it,
they will hijack
the protest. We have seen where government sponsor counter projects, protest.
They'll clash.
What happened in the southeast, where Nnamdi Kanu was jailed? Some people came to protest. Some other people came out to say, no, let him remain in jail. He was not speaking for us. These are issues.
So in one sense,
so in other words,
how can citizens not delve into this corruption? Because I don't just want the focus to be on government. We citizens, we also have a part to play. How can we? Because
it is not. I told you just now that trust in our public governance system is zero.
Okay.
We no longer have trust, and of course, because of corruption has increased the high level of poverty. The people are poor. There are people today who can no longer take 1 square meal a day. Not 3. Let's leave 3. 1. There are people there. So when these people catch on any opportunity to also take care of themselves, because they have been beaten down. And that is why it's called that today it's very difficult to stop the issue of vote buying. The government will say, may I go take my share? May I still go? Yes, today, now that they share everything, may I still go take my share? So the people have been beaten to the lowest ebb, and then they want to fend for themselves.
So invariably, we have to tackle poverty.
We have to tackle poverty. To tackle poverty, the people will be out of corruption. Okay. And the government should be accountable, transparent, and open.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Now, in one sentence, Comrade Solomon, how can Edo State government, in practical terms, be more transparent, for the people so as to build trust?
It's like passing the camel through the eye of a needle. Now you say one sentence, but let me say this. I do not see transparency yet anywhere, whether I call it state, federal, or local government. There's this lack of disclosure, this non-disclosure attitude. You go to local government, you want to know what they have as budget for the year, what they intend to do. They can't tell you because their funds is being managed by the state. Forget the story here that a local government autonomy or local government autonomy is. They are all stories. They are, because they are appointees. They are all selected and not elected. So, poverty. Government had weaponized poverty. So much so that I said earlier, you didn't listen, that corruption is endemic in Nigeria. That woman, I wanted to buy a bag of pure water that they usually sell for 500 naira. And this woman was telling me that it's 600 naira. I say, why? He said they're not supplying since now. That they didn't supply you. Did they change price?
Which now still brings us to the rule that
no, I'm just trying to say that because there is no, when we were growing up, I used to know that there's this regime that talked about price regulation,
Price control. No, we had a price control.
Price control government, and then it will keep everybody on check. Just go to a filling station now. In the name of deregulation, you will go to filling station A. They all bought from the same example. You go to filling station A, you put his fuel at 880. You go to another one, put it at 910. You go to another one, put it at 850.
All right.
I'm coming
all right, comrade.
Then tomorrow, if they increase fuel, if they increase fuel,
you there because of time. Thank you so much for sharing so much insight in terms of how Nigeria can tackle corruption. And even in Edo State. Thank you so much, Dr. Bartolome, for being with us on the show. Thank you, Comrade, for being with us on the show. And to you viewers out there, would like to hear from you. What is your take? Do you think that this war against corruption, we can ever win this war? Or do you think that it will keep getting worse and worse? Drop your comments in the comment section as we'll be reading from you. We'll take a quick break, and when we'll come back, we'll round up on the show for today.
News, whether not political news or political rally for your party, we stand gidigba. Not be only that one, we dey cover all kinds of events: birthday party, wedding party, burial ceremony coverage, graduation ceremony. We dey even do inter-sport event coverage. We go showcase your school to many people, even if not to cover national sport. Also for your church event, anniversary, crusade or harvest, we get professionals wey sabi this work well. VOS TV, then they tested, trusted.
Okay, welcome back. It is still Dawn on VOS TV. And to wrap up, I just want to read a few comments and appreciate those who joined us live on the show. I can see Ayene Ostino. I can see My Health Solution. Joshua, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Musa Tijani, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Joel Collins, thank you so much for joining us on the show. MC Papilo and Will Sugar Deceiver, Ibrahim Obaksi, thank you so much for joining us on the show and for dropping your comments. We do appreciate. So that's the size of our package on the Thursday edition of Dawn on VOS TV. See you again tomorrow.